What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good tonight? Right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink. Look a damn mess. Just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, what up, what up, what up? What's up, people? What is good? It is me. I am back. I am L Teddy 27, and I'm back for another review. This is going to be our review for Bling Empire. This is season 1. It is episode 2. Shout out to all my Deuce Clubs out there. It is entitled The Tale of Two Trusts. Now, a lot happened. And let me say this. As I'm digging in my teeth. I don't know why. I feel like I'm giving the show a pass because it's on Netflix and they got a lot of budgeting and a lot of cameras and good cameras and stuff like that. But if I'm being honest, I do have an issue, and I noticed it this episode with what I like to call the transition between scenes. Like it's just like this episode was just a hodgepodge of scenes. They just had a bunch of scenes. They threw them together. By the end, we kind of got around to a whole picture, but we went like this to connect the dots instead of having an arc or some type of real figure. And yeah, so that's one thing that I would have say I had an issue with this episode. It was making sense of why the scenes were put in the order that they were put in. But that's just me. So we start off with Kim. She's DJing at some club or whatnot, and we see Kane and Kevin and Kelly are there. And eventually they start to talk. Kim and Kane a little bit started talking about the fact that Kevin really does like Kelly, but he's trying to play coy. He's trying to play it off because Kelly has a boyfriend currently, and it's just not the thing to do. You to be trying to hit on this woman, and she got a whole ass man. Anyway, we then see Christine at home, and she done invited Anna over there. Listen, this was the best conversation of the entire episode. Do you hear me? She invited Anna over there. Anna walked through the door with this dude on her face, like, girl, I'm not here for you, and I'm not here for this. And I was here for every part of Anna. Girl, so she asked Anna why she put her way down there to the end of the table, down by the help and stuff like that. Girl, Christine, girl, you know why. You know why. But you wanted to have your little moment and have Anna tell you so that you could revel in that. Anna was having no parts of you and your fuckery and fuck shit, Christine. Then she thought she had done turned it. Girl, she thought she had done turned it. Talk about, well, earlier this year, I was sitting just to the left of Prince Charles at Buckingham Palace. Girl, Anna looked at her like, and girl, you ain't turned nothing. Like you done turned it, bitch. You ain't turned nothing. Girl, I was so here for it. Listen, Anna wanted no parts of that. In my mind, I was like, girl, don't nobody catch you because you was next to Prince Charles. He's not the queen. Now, had you told me, girl, you had sat next to Queen Elizabeth, maybe I would have been a little impressed. But girl, I still probably would have been impressed. I would have still been like Anna, like, girl, Anne, don't nobody care about them. Girl, sit down somewhere. Anyway, girl, it was a mess. Just a Christine was trying so hard to impress Anna, and Anna wasn't here for it. And Anna summed it up after that. Because I love how Anna did not engage her. She did not engage her. I love how Anna said, girl, she cannot compete with what I was born into. I was like, oh, girl, that is the line for you. Girl, you cannot compete with what I was born into. You know what I thought about when I thought about that? No, I'm not wealthy, girl. I am not wealthy. I am not a part of the Three Comma Club. But you know what I thought about? You ever met somebody that's not black? They might be Hispanic, they might be white, they might be another culture. And they come around and they try to assimilate with black people and they try to, appropriate our culture and everything. And you as somebody born black, be looking at them like, girl, you trying real hard. And girl, it's not that serious. I was born in this. Okay. I don't have to pretend or try to put on. This is who I am. I was born here. You can't compete with what I was born into. Yes, ma'am. I was here for it, Miss Anna. Anyway, she then tried to mention how she knew what the real oldest jeweler was in Paris. Some name she called out. Anna looked at her like, girl, no, that's not what it is. I did. Girl, Anna, if Anna wanted to, she could have been like, girl, every jeweler in Paris shuts down when I come in the room. Girl, they don't see it for you like that. She was like, no, that's not how that went. Girl, Anna shut her all the way down. And then she was like, well, I just feel like, so she said something about, I just don't feel like you should wear that much or it's too much for me. Something she said. And Anna shut her down and looked at her like, huh? Funny. And kept it moving. She was not here for Christy at all. Listen, Anna did not even eat the woman's food. Anna got a couple sips of her expensive wine and kept it moving. Didn't even eat her little nasty ass food. I was here for all parts of Anna. Then we saw Anna at home. Anna done invited Kevin over. Kevin done came over. Girl, Anna done got a personal shopper and the whole Christian Dior store to send her racks of clothing for her to try out. You hear me? Christian Dior sent her a personal shopper and sent racks of clothes over there for her to try out on her own. See, this is what listen. Let me say that again. Christian Dior, the Christian Dior store, sent a personal shopper to her house so she didn't even have to leave the house. Baby, she ain't got to fight traffic. Baby, she ain't got to get sweaty in the sun. Baby, she does not have to pound the pavement. She don't have to carry bags. She don't have to do anything but go and open her door. Child. This is what you call money, money. All them other shows pretending like they got money. Girl, this is where it's at, honey. Anyway, Anna tried on clothes, baby. She done got naked. Titties flopping around everywhere. Just flopping around. Kevin looking at Anna basically done shrunk into himself like, oh my God, oh my God. He's like, no, I don't want to see it. Oh my God. He just done shrunk and shriveled up into himself. And listen, now we all know the rumors about Asian men and how they already small. So baby, he ain't got no room to be doing no amounts of shrinking by any stretch of the imagination. So please, Anna, don't do that to that young man no more. Okay. Anyway, she ended up buying him some outfits and some shoes and stuff like that, paying for it because we know he ain't had no money. We then see Christine at home with her husband Gabe and baby G. Now, baby G was getting some swimming lessons from a swimming coach or whatever. It was all boring or whatever. I didn't really care. But then the husband started going into this whole conversation about how wouldn't it be nice if baby G had a sister and he wants to have another child. Christine was like, I'm not here for this. Then she talked about how her husband's family used to make her ass feel bad. Girl, her husband, she said when they used to have holidays, the husband family used to sit her at the kids' table and then make their whore wash dishes after the holiday dinners and functions. You think it's because you had not given him a male son yet. I think it's because your ass probably was annoying as fuck. And they was just like, girl, go on over there and get away from us. Girl, go wash them dishes and stop playing with us. They just ain't see it for you, girl. And they told you it was because you have no male child. Girl. Anyway, I'm sure she was getting on their damn nerves like she did on my nerves right now. Just a damn mess. Back at Anna's house, Kelly is there and Anna is trying to convince her to go on a date with Kevin. Kelly ain't right. And Kelly like, I'm in a relationship. Girl, we ain't going down that road. I love my man. He give me good dick, and we gonna keep it moving. I guess, girl, that dick better listen. Red Ranger better have dick of death and cock of doom, honey. When I tell you, he better be blowing her back out, baby. She better have CTE from the amount of times he done made her hit that head, her head hit that headboard. Do you hear me? Because if she don't, child, because I'm trying to understand all that for you to be putting up with all his garbage. I was with Anna on that, honey. Moving on. Christine is and her family go to this fertility clinic or whatever, and they're looking at embryos and stuff like that. And then we learned that Christine had a bad pregnancy for baby Gabe, and she almost died. And the doctor tells her, "Listen, I don't know that it's a good idea for you to be trying to carry this baby to term because you're probably going to die, and so you probably need to have think about having a surrogate." But then Christine says, "Listen, I don't know if I want to do that because Gabe's family is very traditional, and they probably won't give the green light for a surrogate because they don't see it for a surrogacy like that." I was like, I guess, Chris, I don't understand. Let me back up. You're grown ass people living in your own house, making your own money, and you still around here asking your parents for permission to do. Girl, I get, child, that's a whole nother culture. That's a whole nother, child. I get. So, are you locked into always having to ask your parents permission for stuff until they die? Is that how that works? Can somebody explain this Chinese culture for me? Because somebody in the comments, please explain to me. Like, I'm trying to understand. Does that mean that okay, when you're born, you are indebted to your parents in the point where you have to constantly ask them permission to do anything until they die or something? Or is it just for him because of this whole dynasty situation? And the dynasty situation can't be that serious no more because clearly ain't no more dynasty, boo. China's not run by dynasties no more. So there goes that. And he got his own money. Girl, I'm trying to make sense of this shit. Somebody help me out, please. Anyway, moving on. Kelly and Andrew go see a psychoanalyst. Her name is Dr. Bethany Marshall. And they discussed the fights in Paris. Basically, the doctor got down to it. He got mommy and daddy issues, okay? He has abandonment issues stemming from his mommy and daddy. And now he's, um, using Kelly as, his way to get through that. And so now all of that is coming down on Kelly. Just a mess. I don't even listen, Kelly. If you like it, I love it, honey, because I can't do it, honey. A bitch just came. Kane, Kevin, and Andrew did go out to eat. Now, this was an uncomfortable conversation. So Kane notices Kevin is wearing Dior, right? When Kevin come in. Kevin tells him all about what happened at Anna's house, how Anna had the titties flopping and everything, that they look real, though. He talked about how she, the shoes cost $1,100, and she spent like $5,500 on, outfits and shoes and stuff for him. And so Kane tells him, listen, she might be testing you because I do that sometimes, and I'm the type, but see, and I'll get there in a second, but Kane was like, I'm the type where I'll test people and see if they'll actually take money from me, because money is not a real option for me, or if they just truly want to be my friend, or they there for money. But he said that's a part of my culture, this, that, and the third. But what I was about to say was, just because y'all are Asian, that doesn't make y'all all have the same cultural ideologies and things like that. Because while you may be doing that in the Singapore culture, she's Japanese and Russian. And in her culture, that might not be the same situation. So you can't naturally equate these things because y'all have different cultures. It's just like when people make the mistake of thinking everybody who's African thinks the same and have the same cultural identity, when Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent filled with many countries. Just like Asia is a continent filled with many countries. And Southeast Asia is a part of Asia still filled with many countries with different cultures, different ideologies, and different ways of thinking. So I just didn't like that he automatically assumed that. Anyway, then Kane asked Andrew about how he and Kelly are. Andrew says good. Andrew then says that they're great after that. And so then he went into this whole conversation. Oh, yeah, because I like that we do 360. Our relationship can take a whole 360. And Kevin called it out real fast. I mean, Kevin was trying to be shady because we know Kevin's still trying to get with Kelly. But Kevin was like, that don't make sense. Because if you do a 360, you end up where you was. And stupid ass Andrew tried to make it make sense. Talking about, yeah, like the world, when it goes 360, it does a whole change. Try again. Try again, Andrew. You sound stupid as fuck. But whatever. Kane then tells Andrew all about how Kelly had told him that Andrew doesn't give her enough dick in the booty, don't give her enough anal. How she want more dick in her booty. And so are we just gonna ignore the fact that Kane asked Kevin and said, don't you like anal? And Kevin was like, oh yes, I like it a lot. I like it. I love it. Didn't I tell y'all last review? I think he got, quarters down here to the Rainbow Coalition compound. I ain't playing with you, Kevin. I am not playing with you. Anyway, first of all, and then Kane started laughing about it, and not just regular laugh. I mean, he is hilariously laughing about it. And first of all, you making jokes and laughing about this man and the stuff going on in his bedroom. And I don't care how close you is with his girlfriend, y'all can be besties. You violated best BFF bestie code, because if I'm talking to you about my man and what we do in the bedroom, the last thing I'm expecting your monkey ass to do is to go talk to my man about the shit that I just told you that he do or don't do in the bedroom, because you know how men are. Men's egos are fragile, and you telling him that his sex is not up to par. You think he's just gonna be okay with that? And Greg, he was listen. Kane was key, honey. Baby, he was busting out. It was so disrespectful, so out of order. And I was with Andrew. Andrew was like, yeah, this is out of order. This is out of line. This is disrespectful. And it was, because Kevin started laughing. And I think Andrew knows that Kevin likes Kelly. And it was completely out of order. Completely out of order. And then Kevin made this little comment. If you want, I can pinch it for you. Bitch, what? See, that's where Andrew was supposed to punch that bitch in the mouth. All of that venom and vitriol he had on the phone for Kelly, he was supposed to have that same type of energy at that table and go the fuck off. Girl, I guess. Anyway, back down to the Chu household. Dr. Chu is making a video with Baby G asking the parents for permission to have a surrogate to have another child. Then we see Christine and Baby G having a photo shoot for Baby G, really for Christine. Kevin comes through to, offer some advice about modeling and stuff like that, and, photo shoots and stuff like that. Christine ends up telling Kevin that she just really doesn't want to have a child. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Did she tell Kevin at that point that the in-laws had already said no to the surrogate? Like, I really felt like when they were at that photo shoot, I really felt, and I wrote that down, that she said that her in-laws had already said no to the surrogate, and that she wasn't gonna have to worry about having another child because her in-laws already said no. And we'll get there later. Kevin goes to Anna's house to return all of the stuff that she gave him. Girl, he asked if she had to pay for it or if she was sponsored by Dior. Baby, baby, see, it's the quick reads that Anna be having for me. Anna be quick. It's so effortless with Anna and her read. They just come out so effortlessly. Baby, when he said sponsorship, she said sponsorships. No, you go to Christine for sponsorships, not me. I pay for everything. I was like, bitch. What I tell you, Anna be here for it. Anna, listen, I told y'all, Anna is my spirit animal. She be reading down. I be here for her. She told him, listen, because he told her about the whole thing. I didn't know if he was trying to test me or whatever. She was like, girl, I don't care what culture it is. It's rude to return a gift that somebody gives you. I'm not trying to test you, girl. She basically told him, bitch, I got all kinds of money. Girl, you think I'm worried about some $5,500? Girl, that's the tax. I do more tax write-offs than that child. 55, wait, what? Girl, I just made that last hour. $5,500? Girl, I made that last hour. Why are you bothering me about that? Girl, take them clothes. And then she was like, did you wear those shoes? And he was like, yeah. And you thought you was going to get that back to me? I bust out laughing. I was like, you got it right, Anna. Because you're going to give me those shoes that you don't wore and shit like that back and think I'm going to take them. She basically told him, listen, don't come here around all of these rich people and be impressed by all of the things. You need to be impressed by the person and the way they are inside, not by the things that they have and what they can do. And Anna was here for it. Like she said, girl, I was born into this. I already know the bullshit, and I could teach you a whole lot. I'll be here for Anna. Anyway, we finally get to really meet Cherie and Jesse. Well, really, we only met Cherie. We didn't get to meet Jesse. But we found out a little bit about both of them. Kane and Kevin went over to Cherie's house. Jesse wasn't there. Cherie, we found out she has a child. She's currently pregnant with her second child, and her family made this money with denim. They have a whole denim empire. Her family. Jesse has a whole furniture empire that I don't know if it came from his family or if he, started his own furniture empire. Anyway, we also found out that Cherie used to be a like a pop star or something in Japan, and she had signed with Sony Music. But her mama didn't want her to get into that. Listen, she did like Shirley Ralph. Singing does not pay the bills. Singing does not put food on the table. It's no to the choir. What is she? Ain't that what she's in this act too? The choir and the competition are out. Child, baby. Her mama said the pop star bullshit and the pop group are out. Okay. We found out her mom pancreatic cancer and so forth, and they had a whole moment. Kane led the three of them, Cherie, Kane, and Kevin, in this Buddhist chant and prayer, because something about in the Buddhist culture, if you say a chant, because the soul is still in the body, it will help direct the soul to the afterlife or whatever. I don't know. I don't. Now, and I'm not saying that whatever to disrespect their religion, because I don't want to disrespect anybody's religion. But I that was kind of like what I got from it. Anyway, it was real cute. You know what I'm saying? And she liked it and whatnot. And so I liked that. And Kane had a whole moment where he was crying and stuff like that, and it was real emotional for him. Which and you could tell Kane to me is somebody who's a good friend. And that's one trait that I like about Kane. When Kane is your friend, he's there for you. Even though he was disrespectful as hell to Andrew, but I think he was disrespectful to Andrew like that because him and Andrew are not friends, and he don't see it for Andrew. So that's why he felt like he could be disrespectful to him. I think part of it was too, when you don't see it for somebody and you got the kind of money that Kane got, you feel like, bitch, I could be a whole disrespectful ass, and what you gonna do? Child, money talks. That's the privilege right there, honey. Lastly, we see Christine and Gabe at home, and they get ready for some event. So Gabe says that his parents actually gave the okay for the surrogacy. And that's why I was like, didn't she just tell Kevin that the parents said no? Anyway, the parents said okay. So he was like, so we can go and, do this. And so she was like, I don't want to do that. Do we really have to take them out of the freezer? I ain't trying to have no more kids. So if you asking me, my vote is no. Baby, he looked at her. He said, well, boo, you're not the only one that gets to vote. And that is that, and stormed off. He was not here for it and was real upset. And so you see her in the confessional, and the producer was like, I feel like it's more to this. There's something you're not telling us. And she was like, yeah, there is more. There's a lot more to this. And it went off from there. And I think it is a lot more to that. You know, Christine gives me that she's a liar and she's somebody who likes to make up stories to try and impress people. So I'm sure she's on these good cameras trying to impress us, the audience, not thinking that we gonna put two and two together. So I can't wait to figure out what all of this extra tea is behind her in this pregnancy that she don't have. Anyway, y'all, let's get in the comment section and talk about it and about what we saw. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all down safely. I'm out.